Have a seat. Makeup class is now in session. Today's lesson is all about Dior. We are breaking down the entire line, which formulas from the line get a passing A grade for great formulations, great packaging, and then some products from the line get a grade F. They fail because you're just paying for the marketing for those products. First up for examination is the Dior Face and Body Foundation. This foundation is $45 and it's known for being a waterproof, very lightweight formula. It doesn't have a lot of heavy silicones like most other foundations have, so let's break down the formula. Now the science behind this one, it doesn't have heavy silicones like most other foundations have. Instead, it has volatile alkanes in there. Think of these as modern non-silicone ingredients that give the foundation its incredibly thin serum-like texture. That's why it's such a lightweight formula. It sits beautifully on the skin. It evaporates really quickly, and that's due to an ingredient called trimethylsiloxysilicate. I had to look this one up to read it properly. This is a high-tech modern silicone resin. So we're using that instead of actual silicones. This is what forms that very flexible, breathable, lightweight film on the skin, and that's what helps it to be waterproof and sweat resistant because of that ingredient. It's an expensive raw material, so to see this foundation for $45 is pretty impressive ingredient deck. So what grade does this formula get? It gets a pass. We love this formula because it's very lightweight, it's water resistant, it feels great on the skin. If you don't like heavy silicones or you break out from them, this is a great option, worth every penny. Next on the syllabus is the Dior blush. This is $42. And the brand claims that this is 90% natural origin formula that keeps the skin hydrated all day thanks to the iris, pansy, and hibiscus extract. So let's look at the formula. So the main ingredients in this blush is synthetic florflogapite, which is synthetic mica and mica. Those are high quality ingredients that are the base powder of this formula. Now let's find those botanical extracts that they are using for the marketing purpose. If you look in the ingredient deck, after parfum, the fragrance, then you see those botanicals. So when you're looking at an ingredient deck for a product, the further down the list it is, the less percentage it is. So it's marketing BS right there. So with those being in trace amounts, it's really not enough to be hydrating. It's mainly a marketing story. So what's the verdict on this blush? I'm gonna give it a fail. Even though a lot of people really like this one, I feel like you're just paying for the marketing story. The packaging feels cheap to me. The formula feels a little bit chalky on the skin. I think there's lots of other blushes out there in the luxury space that perform a little bit better than these do. All right, class, let's move on to the Dior Addict Shine Lipstick. This is $48, and the claims are it has up to 24 hours of hydration and 6 hours of shine, highlighting jasmine, wax, and plum oil. Let's see if the formula backs it up. Now, the science behind these lipsticks is the second ingredient on the list is squalane, and squalane is a great skincare ingredient that's very hydrating on the skin, so it's great for the lips. Squalane is actually a pretty expensive emollient that mimics your skin's natural oils. I also see high on the list, it has jasmine, wax, and plum oil are there. They do contribute to the feel of this formula, but the real workhorse in this is going to be that squalane, which is such a great ingredient to have in a lip formula. So does this formula live up to the claims? Yes, it does. We are going to pass this formula. It's a great hydrating one. It feels great on the skin. Definitely worth every penny. It's time for a pop quiz. We are doing a quiz on the 5 Couleurs Couture Eyeshadow Palette. This is $76. She's a steep one. So for that price point, the performance standard has to be flawless. So let's look at what's in here. Now the science behind this eyeshadow palette is the first ingredient is calcium sodium borosilicate. So this is a synthetic pearl that gives almost a glittery effect. I personally don't like formulating with this raw material unless I'm blending it with a mica or something else because it just is very glittery and it's a chunky glitter. So it's not a very smooth shine. And while these can be beautiful, they're such a large particle that you can get a lot of fallout from there and you get that kind of chunky glittery look and they don't adhere to the skin very easily. While the formula does contain some great ingredients like lauryl lysine, this improves the texture, and it also has the ingredients rosehip oil, which I love. I love rosehip oil. It's great for the skin. It has cornflower water. They are there, but again, they're listed after preservatives. So if you see preservatives and parfum or fragrance, and then after that you see ingredients that they're really highlighting, calling out as marketing ingredients, it's just marketing hype. It's not actually doing anything because it's such a trace amount. So what is the grade for this one? I'm going to give it a fail. There's way too much fallout for these. The formula isn't as premier as many other brands out there for that price point. I can't pass it. We gotta fail it. Next lesson we have, class, is the Dior Forever Glow Liquid Highlighter. This is $47, and this is a great lesson. I can teach you all about what makes a good liquid highlighter. Now, the science behind this one, the base starts with water and C912 alkane. That's that same ingredient we were talking about earlier in the foundation. It also has synthetic fluorphlagopite, which is that synthetic mica. That's where we get the glow from this. I love formulating with mica because whether synthetic or real, because it gives you that beautiful glow. It's not chunky glitter like the calcium borosilicate. The trick with having that in a liquid formula is that they can tend to sit at the bottom. You need it to suspend in the formula, so that way at first swipe you get that really beautiful glow. That's really hard to formulate, but Dior, I feel like, did it really well. So the ingredient that helps with that is diammonium hectorite. That's a mouthful, you all. I probably fumbled that a little bit. This is a clay-based suspending agent that holds everything in place, so you get that really consistent, beautiful glow versus chunks of pearl in there. It gives it a nice consistency. So what is the grade on this highlighter? We are definitely going to pass this one. The complexity of this formula is very modern. It applies beautifully on the skin. It's a very high-end modern formula. Definitely gonna pass this one. Next up that we have is the Dior Lip Glow Oil. This is one of their most popular products. Sells a lot. A lot of people talk about this one. It's $42. And what the brand claims, I have my notes here, class, it says that it reacts to your lips' pH level to reveal a custom color. It's infused with cherry lip oil for hydration. Let's look at this ingredient deck and see what's marketing BS and what's actually performance. Now, the first ingredient in this lip oil, I'm just going to put it here on the screen because every time I try to say it, I botch it. It's a very difficult word. This is a standard, inexpensive emollient oil, and it's used in a lot of lip products. It's not a special ingredient at all. The second is a methyl hydrogenated rosinate. This is a resin that gives it that sticky, glossy texture. You'll see this in a lot of lip glosses. And then the third ingredient, are you ready for this, class? Canola oil. Canola oil, Dior! So basically, the base of this formula is canola oil and with a resin. Now, this is the marketing pitch. They tell you the pH reactive custom color that they're marketing. It's known as CI45410, also known as Red 27. This is one of the cheapest, most common ingredients in cosmetics. It's been around for decades, and it turns pink when the slight acidity of your skin reacts with it. So it's not really anything special. You'll see this in drugstore products. It's not anything special or unique. So what's the grade for this lip oil? I'm gonna fail it. You're basically paying for canola oil and cheap pH dyes that have been around for a really long time. You can get similar formulas at a drugstore price and save yourself a bunch of money. So, yep. It's a fail. Okay, class, pay attention to this one because this is a true lesson in formulating stick foundations. Now, this is the Dior Forever Skin Perfect 24-Hour Foundation Stick. Whew, that's a mouthful. This is $57, and this is what the brand claims. It's going to give you natural blurred finish, 24-hour coverage, all-day hydration, and heat and humidity resistance. That's a long list of promises, class. All right, so let's see what ingredients are in here. Science behind the stick formula. Now, stick foundations are really hard to formulate. They can be really thick and dry, or they can be too greasy looking. That's why it's really hard to find a good stick foundation. You have to balance the waxes, the oils, and the pigments in exactly the right way to get that very smooth consistency. So then first ingredient of this one is alkane, same solvent that we've talked about before. This gives it that serum-like glide, so it's a great ingredient. The second ingredient is caprylic triglyceride. This is a very skin-friendly emollient derived from coconut oil, but it's not going to clog the pores like coconut oil is because it's very lightweight. It hydrates the skin without feeling greasy. Now here's what impresses me. I'm going to put this on the screen as well. It's a yeast-derived ingredient that helps smooth and condition the skin. So it's good for the skin as you're wearing it. I did not know it had this till I started doing my research, class. And then the other ingredient is a lauryl glutamate. Again, I'll put this on the screen. This is a plant-derived emollient, and this mimics the skin's natural lipid barrier. So it's going to be very hydrating on the skin. It's going to feel like skin, and that's where that beautiful texture comes from. This is such a well-engineered formula, you all. The combination of all these ingredients is why this is so special. It's unlike any stick foundation that I've tried, and the fact that it has great ingredients in there that are good for your skin, definitely a bonus. So does the science back up the $57 price tag on this one? Yes, class. Yes, class. We are passing this one. It's a very modern high-end formula that is unlike any other stick foundation I've tried. Now, class, let's talk about the Dior Backstage Glow Maximizer Face Palette. This is $54 and it comes in 4 different highlighter shades, which I don't see very often in a lot of luxury formulas. This is a Sephora exclusive. I did not know that. And the claim is that it's a multi-use highlighter with pigment pigment and gel powders. I'll explain it in a second. It's a very specific claim, and the unique thing about this one is we have 4 completely different formulas. Now, the science behind this highlighter palette is the technology behind the texture of this. Each pan contains gelatin, gum, and calcium chloride. So when you combine these 2 ingredients, it forms a gel matrix. This is what creates that unique, bouncy-like texture. It almost feels wet, but it's a powder. So it's a really cool formula that I don't see in a lot of other products out there. Each pan contains hydrolyzed rice protein, which helps the product adhere to the skin. So that's why you don't get that weird fallout with that beautiful shimmer in there. And then it also has squalane in there, which we know is great for the skin and is very hydrating. Now here, class, is where it gets really interesting. So when you look at the ingredient deck of each color, one of the pans has alumina in there instead of mica, and it gives it a completely different light refracting quality. So why that's unique, you all, is usually when you formulate a 4-pan palette, they all have the same base ingredient and they just change the pigmentation in there, but the base ingredient always the same. This one is not. So that tells me they have completely different formulas for the different colors, which for one is definitely a higher price point because that's more labor to do different formulas in that same palette. So what grade does this palette earn? We are definitely giving this a pass for 4 completely different formulas in one palette for $54 for a luxury brand. That price point is unbelievable for what you're getting. I do think the formula is fantastic with the gel and powder. It looks beautiful on the skin. It's very versatile. Definitely worth that money. Next product we have, class, is the Diorshow mascara. I've talked about this one a lot. This is $35. It used to be much cheaper. They've raised the price on this one. So the claims on this, it has buildable volume. It's long wearing. They highlight cornflower extract for lash hydration, but let me tell you what's really in here. Now, the science behind this mascara, it has water, glycerol, stearate, and beeswax. So this is the most classic standard formula you'll see in all mascaras. I've told you all before, when I formulate mascaras, most mascaras are made at very similar labs. So when I look at the ingredient deck of this, I don't see anything that's uniquely different from other formulas out there. One ingredient that Dior keeps highlighting is the cornflower water, and it's a nice touch, but it's not really doing anything special for the lashes, especially at that concentration. It's lower down on the list, so there's not enough of it to really do anything. So when I look at this ingredient deck, I see a bunch of waxes, I see emulsifiers, I see some preservatives in there. There's nothing really in this formula that you can't find in a $12 mascara at the drugstore. So what's the grade on this one? I gotta give this a fail. Even though it's not a bad formula, I feel like for that price point, you can get so many other mascaras that are way less expensive. It's a basic mascara, you all, that you could find at the drugstore for 1/3 of the price. Next lesson, class, is the Dior Forever Nude Jumbo Bronzer. This is $64, and at that price point, it needs to be exceptional bronzer. The claims are it's long wearing, heat and humidity resistant, and it's infused with hyaluronic acid and a vitamin C ingredient. And it comes in a pretty good size pan, so let's see what's in here. The ingredient deck of this bronzer, the first ingredient is synthetic formaldehyde, that mica. That's what gives it that smooth, refined finish on the skin. But here's what makes this bronzer interesting. It has shea butter in there, and it has C3045 alkyl dimethicone. This is a silicone that gives it that creamy, beautiful texture that glides on the skin. It also contains ascorboglucoside. This is a stable form of vitamin C. It has vitamin C in here. I did not know this till I was researching it. This is a great antioxidant for the skin. It's really interesting that I see that in a bronzer because I don't usually see vitamin C in a lot of powder products. Now, does this get a pass or a fail? I'm going to say before I give you the grade that they definitely need to have more color. There's no excuse in 2026 of having shades that don't reach the deep skin tones. So for that, I'm going to mark a few points off, but I'm still going to pass the bronzer because it is a great formula. You get a lot for that price point. I do love that it's infused with hyaluronic acid. It's worth the price if you're going to hit pan on it and use it for many years to come. All right, class, so let's recap how many were passes and how many were fails for Dior. We have 6 products that passed and 4 that failed. Class dismissed.